I've just started doing educational videos recently, and I have a passion for not doing any kind of clickbait or any kind of lost leader. What I want to share with you that on this thumbnail, it says get 3% or under 3% for a mortgage interest rate today. It's absolutely the truth. FHA conventional, I'll unpack that over the next 3 or 4 minutes. But you have to have some cash, all right? You have to be somebody that has sold something, that's got to have quite a bit of equity. I can tell you, as a former financial planner, I know there are many people who have significant cash resources. They're liquid because they will never, and they're stuck in a home. You know why? Because they just have this in them to be a good steward. Nobody wants to pay 6% interest, right? The only people who are paying 6% is those who have to. So I know I want to talk to you, the person who sold a house recently, has $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 liquid, but you don't, and you're not buying, or you've had other good fortune and you've done well in some investments and you've got some liquidity. Let me just jump in. We're talking about assumable mortgages. Every FHA, VA, and RD, which is often done in rural communities, every one of those mortgages, the mortgage is assumable. No matter what your realtor says, no matter anybody says, if it's an FHA loan, it is assumable. Why is that important to you? If you have cash, is that let me just share with you, the end of February 2022 is when interest rates went to 4% and above. From that moment, we know they've been high based on what it was before, right? I hope it's not a new normal, but if it is, I've got a solution, right? You can go buy a house today and not pay 6%. You can buy a house today and get 2.5. I talked to somebody in open house today. They got 2 5/8, 4 or 6 years ago, something like that. You can get 2.5%, 3% today. Because here's what an assumable loan is. Picture this. Somebody paid $250 for it 4 years ago. It's now appreciated to $450. Markets have been crazy. 4 or 5 years later, whatever. And it's worth $450. But guess what? You pay $250 for it. You've been paying on it for 4, 5, 6 years. You're not going to owe $250, right? You're going to owe maybe $225. So if you buy this house and $225 is owed, you get a $225,000 mortgage at under 3% in most cases. But you have to come up with $275,000 in cash. So that's what I wanted to get right up front communicated. If you're still watching, is that there are so many opportunities out there, not just for buyers, but for sellers. Let me ask you this. If you're a seller and a realtor asks you, is your home assumable? And you say, I don't know. Well, what I'm working on right now is to get a database in my county of every FHA loan on the books. And once I know that, then I'll cross-reference those for anybody. If anybody wants to know if their house's mortgage is assumable, message me, call me. Right now, I don't have all the technology set up, but pretty soon there's going to be a contact me box on this video, and I'll edit this part out, right? But there are opportunities where if a seller knows that their mortgage is assumable, what a little bit of the rub is, you have to know what's owed, what the interest rates are, what the monthly payment is. Sounds like some work, right? Some work that maybe some realtors may not want to do. I'm sorry, I'm just ticked off about it because it's something that nobody knows about and there's nobody that's talking about it, right? That's why I'm doing this video. Quite frankly, it's in the evening. I don't usually do anything after 7 o'clock because I'm just not, let me just say this. I wake up early and I get tired early, but I had to do this tonight. I usually don't try to make any, I can't even say the word, irrevocable decisions after 6, but I had to do this video. So that's what an assumable loan is. And if you're I don't know if I said this, I don't know if I said this yet or not, but picture having a big old 3 by 3 foot sign in your front yard that said 2.75% interest. Do you think you might get some interest in that? Do you think you might be contacted? Do you think it's important for your realtor to know that and ask that question? Right now in my MLS, I'll just tell you, Tulsa, Oklahoma, let's say if we pulled out 100 listings at random and we found 100 FHA or VA loans, guess how many will show that they're assumable on the listing information? My experience, not even 10%. So 90% of the people who are listing their home with an FHA or VA loan that was originated before February of 2022, it's a crime. It's a crime. It really is. So make sure your realtor is asking you that question, at least in an area close to me, Oklahoma City. You know what their questions are for the realtor? and should be for the seller, but often we answer them because we think we know the answer, is yes, no, unknown. That would be better in my MLS than yes or no, because every time it says no on an FHA or VA loan, that's wrong, absolutely wrong. So anyway, let me take a deep breath. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions, if you want to know if your mortgage is FHA or Assumable, you probably remember, but if you don't, that's what I'm here for. I want to help you find that out, find out what's owed and what would need to be done to get your house marketed as an Assumable mortgage. I hope that's helpful.